Okay, next up, DD2 pre-final. We're going to have a look at the starting grid. Your ranking after heats leader now is on pole position. Glenn Van Parijs, a three-time B&L Karting Series title winner. The last 2 seasons has been in DD2. Kasper Bielecki from Poland alongside Zana Schriblak and Mika Metz ran out the top 2 rows. Lasse Andreasen and Josh Price from Denmark and the United Kingdom, row 3. Patrick Snolls, Locke Mellis and Lucas Thompson, row 4. Kilian Gerhardt and Maxim Dirix ran out the top 10. We had Jordi Klebold, Max Fleischmann. We then got Karl Borgard, David Maslakovic, Lawrence Seyfried, Matthias Lund, Martin van Leuven, Fabian Bock, Andreas Birkbach and Robert Chopian doing the top 20. Running out the 30 strong is going to be Charlie Anderson, Hannes Bodder, Florian Breitenbach, Christopher Sachse, Jaro Dekkers, Dennis Thiem, Emerick Gerhardt, Mario Sabin, Hannes Morin and Jule Ljungdahl. The 2 Swedes at the back end of the field. We've seen one of the things I liked about the nighttime racing, Esme, was under the floodlights, you know, deep into the real darkness, and you know the floodlights. We had like sparks flying from underneath the chassis going through the curves. I mean, Glenn Van Parijs was a perfect exponent of that, going through turn 3 and going out of turn 6. It just really added that dynamic that I think the event needed. And then
and of course, all the drivers we spoke to yesterday, being it at the press conference or, well, just meeting them and talking to them, they all love it, driving under the lights. Same for everybody who is attending here. Dave posted a post on Facebook this morning or yesterday evening about how happy he was, how it went.
Yeah.
And everybody just seems to love it. It's just such an extra to already a really great event.
Also, Dave Ritson, one of the organising committee behind this, and also track manager here at Karting Genk. Very, very happy. We did run the B&L Rotax Golden Trophy 2 years ago, but unfortunately before qualifying, we did have a problem with the power outage. But 2 years on, it came to prominence that we raced under the nighttime sky and also qualified under the nighttime sky. Right, 30 drivers, 15 rows, DD2 about to get underway for their pre-final. Into the tram lines we go. Revs start to rise. Are we ready?
Yeah.
We are. Lights out and off and away. And a great start from Glenn Van Parijs.
Oh.
As Schriblak round the outside. Oh, and a cut across, and he tangles, and we've already got one off. And that is the 486 Josh Price from KR Sport. Is right at the back, and that's the 464. That is Mika. That's the biggest casualty of them all, Mika Metz. Starting 6th as Josh Price, unassisted, pulls the car onto the circuit. So yellow flags going into Marshall post number 1, Josh Price. Oh, there's more tangling. Oh, there's a big coming together. Hannes Border involved in that, and the 468 from Germany. And that has caused bedlam. But the driver's now starting to build up a rhythm. But at the minute, Glenn Van Parijs and Sana Schriblak. This reminds me of the last round of the B&L Karting Series. These two were battling each other. Van Parijs had pretty much secured the title. And Van Parijs had booked his place with Team Belgium. Sana Schriblak represented Team Belgium at the Grand Finals at Sarno in 2019. But he won the Euro Trophy title, and up the inside goes Sana Schriblak. And that was, you know what, that's what I like about Glenn Van Parijs, a true sportsman. Very, very noble, very, very honest, but also if he says, well, I think he's going to send it, I'm just going to get out of his way and just play the race how I want to. What do you say?
Yeah, that's, you described him very well. He's also just a really nice guy off track. But a true sportsman, yes, and not only in karting, but also driving race cars.
Yeah, Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux vice champion this year with EGT Racing. But now Sana Schriblak pulls away, and he's got a bit of a gap, nearly half a second. As Kilian Gerhardt and Lasse Andreasen swap positions, the Dane goes ahead of the French driver, Maxim Dirix. This time last week, secured Belgian Challenge Championship victory. As we've got more dramas, that is the 473 Karl Borgard from Denmark. And it's pulled to the side on the inside of turn number 3, so another driver falls by the wayside. In the words of Queen, Unfortunately, another one bites the dust, but Hannes Morin last night was able to capitalise, and there we saw him scything his way like a rat up a drain pipe past Laurent Seyfried going through turn 8. That's why Hannes Morin is a force to be reckoned with. You put him in a car, He's the youngest race winner in the STCC, the Scandinavian Touring Car Championship in history, beating Matthias Ekström's old record in an Audi, no less. But Hannes Morin was the inaugural 2008. He was the inaugural senior Rotax champion in the Euro Trophy history books, and it all came down to the perfect weekend at Wackersdorf in September 2018. And it's good to see him back in the fold. He's going to be racing on the Project T20. I know Ellis Spiezia and family, the family of the Electric Renegade. I know you're watching. I saw it on your Instagram feed this morning, Ellis. You can't hide that one from me, my friend. They're going to be racing at Bahrain on the Project T20, which is effectively a DD2 chassis bolted with a fully electric drivetrain. And they are quick. They're very comparable on lap times with the DD2s that are out on circuit. But Sanne Schriblak is starting to pull away. Martin van Leeuwen from the Netherlands now puts in the fastest lap of the race, a 55.22.
He started 17th, so really good job.
17th position, and at the moment he is currently sitting in 5th place. So 12 places for the Flying Dutchman. And he's closing in on Maxime Dirks. And one of the biggest things is that they are teammates as Max Fleischmann in the 426. Oh, massive moment there. That is Kylian Gerhardt from France. That was coming out of turn number 2. And so, unfortunately, Kylian Gerhardt drops down the order. Carl Borghardt out of the race. Josh Price is still circulating. I haven't seen the 486 come through to cross the line. He has done now, as there is the 439 of Lasse Andreasen. Now, he's just keeping an eye on the rain intensity on the window just off of the timekeeping. And I think it's getting... Not too sure if it's intensifying, if there are raindrops falling by the right-hand side of the commentary box. And
the other side looks fine.
Yeah.
Blue sky, a little bit of clouds, but...
Sounds a bit like Spa-Francorchamps. Could be dry in one place, wet in another. But it's just all about just keeping things calm. And Glenn Van Parijs is using this weekend and last weekend to test the Birol chassis. Said last night in the press conferences, there goes Martin van Leeuwen, and there is Kasper Bielecki. Kasper Bielecki was on the front row of the grid and now gets himself past Maxime Dirks, and that now puts him up into 5th position behind Martin van Leeuwen. But I think one of the things that Glenn said when I asked him about the Birol chassis yesterday, he said, you know, very different to the Tony Kart he normally uses, and it's quite interesting to see how a driver adapts to a different chassis, isn't it?
Yeah. From my experience, drove a few chassis, and of course I'm not nearly as talented as these guys.
Yeah.
Let's put that out first. But the first time you drive in a new chassis, it's just, for me, it always was like completely different. It can be completely different. Yeah. So I have huge respect for drivers who only have driven with a certain chassis a few times and then already put up so great with it. So yeah. I think that shows talent in a different way than just being fast, having overtaking others, but it's also adapting.
Yeah, exactly. I completely understand what you say there. That it's quite alien going into a new chassis for the first time. But we've got oh no, who on earth is that? That is the 460 Jordi Klebold, son of Carl Klebold, who's running in 510. Having an absolute mare. The back end stepped out coming out of turn 5. He tried to stop it, and the back end went down. Hang on, did I just see Laurent Seyfried? So Seyfried just going down the Europlan. I don't know if he had a slight slowdown or something. Laurent Seyfried from Germany in the 420 entry. He's not having a good one at the moment. But Sanne Schriblak continues to lead. We're on to lap number 8 of this race. Glenn Van Parijs sets a personal best. Martin van Leeuwen is trying to close in on Lasse Andreasen, and the gap between the Dane and the Dutchman is about 4/10 or so, 4/5, as Patrick Knowles Lochmellis is being hustled, of all people, by Max Fleischmann. I haven't seen that man out on a racetrack. He's normally been spannering or been helping to organise FM racing with their drivers running on either an EOS, a Tony Kart or a Comp Kart chassis. So The crew at FM Racing starting to believe in the fluoro, as Comcart actually say. Used in a lot of different championships across the globe. And also Comcart were the providers of the chassis for the 2019 Rotax Max Challenge Grand Finals when I was alongside my my good buddy in the Isle of Barry in South Wales. Good afternoon, Mr. Henry Baudet. And that is the 409. Is that the 409? I think that's the 499. Maxim Didix and Kasper Bielecki having a fantastic duel there, swapping positions between turns 3 and 4. And that is for effectively 5th place on the road. But Martin van Leuven has started catching Lasse Andreasen. Didix up the inside of Bielecki through turn 7 off of the Europlan with just under 5 minutes and 50 still to go. Again, another example, Esme, of just how close the racing is, and full respect from all the drivers for saying, right, I'm going to race you hard, but I'm going to do it fairly.
Definitely, yeah. And of course, they're very skilled drivers. If I'm not mistaken, Maxime is already qualified for the grand finals, so yeah, great driver. But yeah, that's something we see all weekend. Just so much respect for each other, great battles, but always fair, always clean.
Yes, indeed. So we carry on with the battle regardless here at Karting Genk, the home of champions. Glenn van Parijs being chased down by both Lasse Andreasen and Martin van Leuven from Denmark and the Netherlands, respectively. Maxim Didix and Kasper Bielecki swapping positions like musical chairs at the minute. So Didix ahead of Bielecki, Patrick Knowles, Locke Mellis, Max Fleischmann, Lucas Thompson and Robert Chopion round out the top 10 positions. Hannes Morin from 29th has now made it up into P11, and he is closing on the German in the 477 from FM Racing. So Hannes Morin looking to move up into the top 10. There he is, and he's got past. Hannes Morin into P10 from 29th, a gain of 19 positions over the course of 9.5 minutes of racing. A very talented Swede. And that just shows his credentials, Esme.
Yeah, I was looking at Martijn van Leeuwen. He's just having a really good race. So he started P17. Yeah, P17. He's now on P4, but I think he can keep his pace up like this. Yeah. There might be more for him.
Indeed, indeed, because the battle still rages on regardless. 10 minutes down, 4 to go plus an additional lap. The battle for second position very much clearly on. Xander Schriblak has gotten away into the tumbleweeds, and the 401 from Belgium with the SP Motorsport leads the way, and he's making his way through to complete lap number 11. The gap last time around was 2.6 seconds. It now extends to 2.7, so he's pushed the tempo. Martin van Leuven, in the meantime, has put in the fastest lap of anybody on the previous tour on the completion of lap number 10, and that was a 54.385 second lap time from the Dutchman. And Hannes Morin is trying to close in. Had a real good chat with Lucas Thompson, and I said, oh, you're not so bored now because you're getting a bit of a test in DD2, aren't you? And he said, yeah, I start P8 in the final. Well, he's P9 at pre-final. He's P9 at the moment, so good showcase from the young German. And effectively, that could be... He's made the transfer a bit like Fabian Bock. Fabian Bock, very, very quick. Had flashes of brilliance as a senior Rotax driver, but you put them in a shifter car, you put them in a DD2, a gearbox car, and they suddenly come alive. Other drivers like that, David Remy is one of them from Sweden. He was a senior Rotax driver for many a year and went to DD2, and instantly it all changed. Hannes Morin, as I said earlier, you stick him in anything, he's good to go, he's ready to rock and roll. But this battle here, this stalemate, Esme, between Glenn van Parijs, Lasse Andreasen and Martin van Leuven, it's at that point where you don't know who's going to be the one that's going to bet on red or black in the casino.
No, everything is still possible, and with 2 minutes to go, yeah, it's a really exciting race again.
That's the thing. She's it's really good to have Esme up here, as well as providing some insight with the drivers over the course of the interviews yesterday, because Esme has raced previously, not to this standard, but a bit. But you've had some successes, I would imagine, when you've had the opportunity to go racing, and you know your father got you into karting as well. And
that's right. And
and now you've been working here as, what is it, events manager at Karting Genk for the last year and a half, and it's a real pleasure to have you alongside us here on the broadcast team. But,
thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. But we still have a minute and a half to go. Kasper Bielecki is still ahead of Patrick Snols-Lockmelis. That is the battle for P6 on the road, but closing in on them. I think I just saw maybe Max Fleischmann might be closing in. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll just wait to see as they come through turn number 8. So the battle for second being led by Van Perez. Yeah, Max Fleischmann is a little bit further back. I'm just seeing there have been no penalties issued for starts at all this in this race, because we up here in the commentary tower we get a direct feed of the live timing, which you can find on motorsport-events.se/Rotax Euro Trophy. So with 40 seconds to go on the clock. Okay, so we're coming down to the last few moments of the race. And the timer is about to hit 0. Schriblak now, did he get the final lap board that time?
No, he did not yet.
He did. The board is out. So like, literally the minute that Schriblak was literally right across the line. So it's showing that there are still 2 laps to go. There is going to be a change to the timetable, which I'll enlighten you all on very, very shortly indeed for those at home and also here at the track. But Zana Schriblak, Esme, has done exactly what he needed to do. He's not qualified for the grand finals. He'll be one step away from doing so. And that to him is going to mean the world to both him and also his family as well, which has Polish heritage with the surname Schriblak. Yeah. That to him is going to speak volumes, because he was very competitive at Sarno for Team Belgium.
Yeah, we have...
2 seconds.
Oh.
Yeah, the last lap board is being shown to Zana Schriblak. Yeah. So next time but yeah, I mean, he's a very quick driver.
Yeah, we haven't noticed him that much during this race, of course, being caught up, with this beautiful battle we're seeing right now. But Sander is a really skilled driver, really fast. He's, like you said, doing exactly what he has to do right now. And he knows the track very well. I think he feels very confident, and this puts him in a great position for the final later this afternoon. So I'm really excited to see what he can do there.
Yeah, we'll see what he can achieve, because the checkered flag now is being prepared for Zana Schriblak, who is making his way through towards the final couple of corners out of turn number 11 through turn 12. There is the 401 from Stampex Motorsport. Zana Schriblak, one step away. He'll start from pole in the final later on this afternoon, and he takes the commanding victory. Glenn Van Parijs, will he get the drag race completed ahead of Lasse Andreasen? He does by 61 thousandths of a second. Martin van Leuven started down in 17th, finished in 4th ahead of Maxim Dirks, Patrick Snols-Lockmelis, Kasper Bielecki, Lucas Thompson, Hannes Morin. Gratis is all I'm going to say on that one. 20 positions gained. The Swede, he was very much flying up through the order. 29th to 9th at the end of that race, beating Max Fleischmann of all people.
It's amazing.
So Zana Schriblak is your pre-final DD2 race winner here at the Golden Trophy at Karting Genk, the home of champions. So let's have a look at the results as they start making their way through into scrutineering. So Zana Schriblak takes the victory. It's a Belgian 1-2 on home soil, courtesy of Glenn Van Parijs, Lasse Andreasen, Martin van Leuven, Maxim Dirks ran at the top 5. 3 Belgians in the top 5 thereof. Patrick Snols-Lockmelis, Kasper Bielecki, Lucas Thompson, Hannes Morin, Max Fleischmann, Florian Breitenbach, Matthias Lund, Robert Schopian, Jule Jungdahl, Fabian Bock, Hannes Border, Christopher Zaxer, Amerik Gerhard, Mika Metz, David Maslakowicz, Mario Saban, Dennis Thiem, Andreas Birkbach, Kilian Gerhard, Jori Klebo, Josh Price, Charlie Anderson, and Lawrence Seifried rounding out the 28 that finished. Unfortunately, Jarl Dekkers and Carl Borgaard from the Netherlands and Denmark did not finish the race.